And then 30 years down the line, it may pay off, but they're willing to make that investment.
So we should be scared.
Well, we shouldn't be scared, but we should. Yeah, I don't think we should be scared, but I think what we should be is pragmatic and understand why. For instance, I mean, there was a lot of hue and cry over the past 4 years. I can't believe I just said hue and cry.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. It's just like, it's old timey.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh,
Hue
by
and cry?
golly!
What is
Look
hue
at me.
and cry?
It's like the cat's pajamas. It's so 4 years of Trump and sort of his antagonistic relationship with China, and people were all wringing their hands in Washington D.C. The think tankers and the traditional pundits and the diplomats of the U.S. The long-term people. They're, oh my God, we've got this adversarial relationship with China. Well, you know what? We better, right? So that's not a bad thing. So I'm hoping the current administration maintains to some degree, and we'll see what happens. They still haven't responded to the SolarWinds, to the Russian hack, right? They're talking about it now. They're saying they're gonna engage in several clandestine retaliatory acts. Well, it's not that clandestine because they've announced that they're going to do it. And so, but I'm hoping that they will take serious action against the SolarWinds Russian act. But they've got to, with China, they've got to maintain this posture. We've got to make it clear and understood to the Chinese regime that we're not going to put up with this shit. They're going to keep doing it, but we got to make it painful for them.
So how do you make it painful?
Well, it's the old word sanctions. You got to go with the sanctions because there's not much else. Trade wars, I know everybody hates a trade war. Not everybody, but you've got to find a way, because the problem with cyber shenanigans is that there's no real clear definition, right? We know if a country fires a ballistic missile off, we know what the retaliatory act is. We know what an appropriate response is. In cyberspace, when you're talking about warfare, coming up with a definition is very difficult and hasn't been done yet. We've got Cyber Command, right? And we're still trying to sort out what are appropriate responses, because it can escalate quickly, right? Next thing you know, they could shut down our infrastructure, right?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, supposedly what they did in India. Mm-hmm. So if you could explain that to people, they shut down the power grid in India, allegedly. They said they didn't do it, but apparently there was some sort of a warning about the power going out, right?
Yeah. They've done it. The Russians did it famously in Ukraine, right? Not that long ago.